If it goes out, it means the death of millions of people, everyone watching. Don't you understand that? Well, say it's a bomb, then say whatever you want. Say whatever you like, just get it off the air. Please, you just... No, I can't prove it. You've got to believe me. Take it off the air now, please. You've got to. It makes sense.
Please excuse the interruption. We're having technical problems. Please stand by.
It's time.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Dark masks, gather round your TV set. Put on your masks and watch. All witches, all skeletons, all jack-o'-lanterns.
The third commercial, it's still on, please. Take off the third channel. The third channel, it's still running. Stop it, please. For God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time. You've got to... Please, stop it. Stop it now. Turn it off. Turn it off. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
Hello and welcome out to this week's episode of Gamers Council. And we started off a little salty this morning, but gotta have a little bit of fun. This is our bonus episode, and we are going to be all over the place talking games, movies, TV, and some best haunted houses in America. It's just going to be fun. And me and RHETRI have assembled a mega panel today. We have definitely our favorite content creators that are all about horror. I tell you, man, they absolutely know horror. I mean, look at Silent Cypher over his shoulder. Look at the background for Death Dealer. Hello, and look at Dreadpool. There you go.
Don't miss the shirt. I even have a shirt with all the. I know you can't really see it, but
look at that.
Got all the characters.
I recognize Michael Myers. I can see him on the right. I can see that for sure. Yeah.
Fear Expo. I went to that this year.
You guys
awesome.
should see my Speedo. My Speedo has my
Let's get tiny little pumpkins on it, Dreadpool.
Enjoy that.
He's got 2 pumpkins down there and a big old knife.
Hey man,
He
it's
knows
cold
it's
during October, to be fair.
He knows it's my
Stabby
favorite
stab.
boogeyman. That guy has my heart no matter what. I love the shape. He's my favorite.
Yes. I play Rob Zombie. I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're gonna go around the horn and introduce everybody. But for RHETRI, let's knock these two out real quick, so we don't forget about them.
Yes, Adidas 20 joining the crew. What's up, brother? We just became a member for 1 month, and Adidas 20 with the $10 super chat says, "What's up, Dave? What's going on, Adidas? Appreciate the support, brother, as always."
We do. We also have a special emoji for this weekend, which is the pumpkin emoji for the weekend. So if you are a member, and if you want to become a member, it's only 99 cents. And if you're already a member, then burn it up, have fun, enjoy it. And oh my gosh, so let's start with ladies first, because this is her first appearance here, and we are so pleased to have her on, and we need to talk about an interview, but we'll do that later. So Death Dealer, what's up? How are you doing, darling?
I'm doing great. Staying busy. October is my extremely busy season. It starts in September for me. We run a local trail that's nonprofit, and we raise money for local programs in the community. So it's nice to be able to give back. Wow, I keep getting told I need to go and get paid for my job because I'm extremely good at it, and I am like this close. We do have a child that is a part of the community, so I look at it as helping her friends be able to go to things that they may normally not be able to go to, like, summer camps and things of that nature.
That's awesome.
So
that is awesome.
then,
Well,
of course,
welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. And then we'll get to the man in the middle. Like we hear that a lot. Anyway, Silent Cypher. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, Dave. It's good to see you, buddy. Thanks for having me. It's been a while. I hope you've been doing well. Yeah, happy pre-Halloween, I suppose.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's the same for you, but I feel like this time of year it's Halloween from about September 15th to about November 12th.
Yeah, I know. Like at the end of July, Walmart and places like that started putting out their Halloween decorations. I was like,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
And you know what?
Exactly.
You know what? They've been putting up Christmas for the last 2 weeks, and whenever I go in there, my soul cringes a little bit.
Yeah.
Fun fact: some of the larger theme parks that do, like Universal Studios and Busch Gardens, they do a Halloween event. During the they're decorating for the Halloween event. If you actually look under some of the things, you can see Christmas decorations already up and waiting. Yeah, and I never noticed it for years until Mama happily pointed it out one day when we were at Busch Gardens. She's like, "Are those Christmas lights and garland under that shroud?" She's like, "Sure, those are Christmas decorations."
That's
Michael Myers not shit. Is that a wreath under his shirt?
There you go. That's awesome. That is awesome. And of course, the one and only, married to the most beautiful woman on the panel.
Thank you.
Dreadpool. What's up, buddy?
You told
What's
me I
up,
was pretty.
everyone?
It's fine.
How's it going? It's a pleasure to be here, but I got to say something. Death Dealer does a lot of work. I mean, you guys see me doing stuff with videos and stuff like that, but she does a lot of work behind the scenes. She's when she says September, it's literally before September, and we do it all year. That's we don't really count all year because it's all planning. But she needs more props than just, we just started at September and this and that. We do all this volunteer stuff. We do so much more before that. And but she's the brains with Mom, which is mother of all Mayhem.
Yeah.
So the two of them do so much work while I'm actually at my real job. And so a lot of us just show up and do our part of it, but they orchestrate a lot of the stuff that you guys see in the videos that I do. So many more props to them, and props to everybody in the chat for showing up for this special event. Gotta say, hey, left nut, hey, right nut, who's the bald guy in the middle?
It's actually funny you say that, because when Silent Cypher had mentioned, only a few months being Halloween season, I actually want to interrupt you and be like, honey, this is a lifestyle for me. I don't ever stop.
Well,
yeah,
I literally, if I could show you the windows of my house, I have a large Michael Myers decal in my front window. I've got a zombie. I've got a zombie family on my sliding glass windows. This is a lifestyle. I have crystal skulls decorating my house.
I'm
very much a Halloween person.
The garage door has windows up top. And we have the death hands, people like trying to
zombie hands,
all year long. So
you don't even take it down. Yeah, why? Just leave it
I
up.
guess
Crap.
I guess I should say this is the time frame where I can take over the entire house with all of it, and not feel guilty about it. But I mean, as you can tell,
I don't feel guilty.
I obviously leave all my stuff up all the time because I'm a kid at heart and I love it.
We actually had a nephew one time. I had to redo some of our home interior because our nephew, he was about 6, I think. He came in one day. He was walking up to the house, saw some of my decals in the window, froze. And then as he was walking in, we have a life-size Wicked Witch of the East who would sit at our dining room table. And as soon as he saw her, he turned around and went, nope.
Nope.
I felt bad because, of course, this is family. And I'm looking at his mom and I'm like, I'll move it. And she's like, I really don't want you. And I'm like, it'll make him happy. I'll put it in the back room. It's fine.
In the bathroom. Oh, that's even better.
I always tell people with little kids, I'm like, listen, if your kid's a little sensitive to like the macabre, my house may not be the place for us to hang out.
Fun fact about this thing, right?
Yeah.
My brother and I bought it from my mom, and since she's passed away, we have obtained her back again, and she's come back and forth between our house and her place. And when she was alive, she'd have breakfast with all the ladies in the building, and they would bring her down there. Well, here's the irony. She came back, and I had removed the batteries, and the witch still talks without the batteries. She says the lines and everything, and I got yelled at for not taking out the batteries. So I'm like, I swear I took out the batteries because I didn't want it breaking with the batteries leaking and all that. So I go and I'm like, babe, come here. I'm like, I did not do this. And we look and there's no batteries in her.
That's a big nope. That thing's getting burned, dude. That's like Annabelle. That thing's getting burned.
Yep. So yeah, we stuff like that happens, man. You just never know.
I'm pretty sure it's his mom messing with us at this point. I guarantee it's her. She's done since her passing. I loved that woman. She was a godsend to deal with his father.
Nice.
Everyone always wants to complain about their mother-in-law. My mother-in-law was fantastic. It's my father-in-law. Don't get me wrong, I love him too, but yeah, she kept him in control.
There you go.
And I swear, since her passing, she has done some of the funniest things to me at the most inopportune times. And I know it's her because it usually has to do with sex jokes. And she was always making them because she knew I would make. It was one of the few things that can make me uncomfortable was an old woman giving you sex jokes.
All right.
Like, how would you feel if your husband's mother looked at you and said, "So, are you practicing for grandchildren?" Not are you ready to have them?
You lean into it and you give her a tour.
Yeah. Well, here's our 50 Shades of Dark room. And what? Hey, Retro, can you read that out real quick?
Yeah, Pat F. Member for 2 months. Thank you, brother. Joining the crew, of course. Definitely appreciate it.
Yep, joining back up. We appreciate that. And of course, my co-host RHETRI. RHETRI, buddy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm already drinking. I know it's noon. It's past noon for everybody, right? Almost, except for the West Coast. So I'm drinking my Black Eyed Susan. Awesome drink. And I'm all about, we got kind of what I feel is like the dream team of a Halloween themed show.
Yep.
And I'm telling Dave, I'm like, I want to do a Halloween themed show. Is anyone going to show up for? I don't fucking care. I want to do a Halloween show, man. I love this shit. Yep. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. If you don't like scary stuff, that's okay. We'll throw in some dick jokes in there too. We'll make, we're gonna have fun with it. So we're gonna be talking obviously like scary games and scary movies and TV shows. Obviously we all love that stuff. Hopefully we can give you that venereal disease as well, and we'll spread it to you guys, and maybe you'll start playing and liking some of the stuff that we do too. Yeah, it's gonna be spicy. Like I said, I started drinking. I'm already like a quarter away done. So yeah, happy to be here. Gonna have a good time, man. Gonna have a good time.
We've already done scary and dick jokes right in the beginning of the intro, so we're covered.
That's true.
We are.
By the way, I love that intro. Halloween 3 gets too much hate in my opinion. I was actually today. I love that you put that, Dave, because I was actually gonna say, am I the only one who actually thought it was a cool, deviation from the Halloween?
I think
it's kind of cool.
One critique, Dave, that pumpkin should have been the Xbox logo. And that would
have I didn't have that much time to get all digital. So
no, I know. But that could be for next one.
There you go.
I absolutely agree with you that Season of the Witch is an overly hated movie. And when you talked, I'll admit, I was one of those people who disliked it for a long time.
Mhm.
And
I get it. It's like, whoa, where's my Michael Myers? What the hell are you doing? Because I think people were scared that he wasn't coming back. You know what I mean?
Well, the whole thing was when you actually look into what they originally was, Carpenter only wanted to do like an anthology. At each movie, he wanted it to be different.
Correct.
Halloween was supposed to just be a one-off.
Mhm.
And when they came to him and said, "We'll let you do your other movie as long as you do a second Halloween," that's how he essentially shit that script out, because he even said, he's like, I didn't really care. He's like, I just wanted my next movie made, so I just put it together.
Yep.
So that's why when people are like, "Oh, Halloween's your favorite," and I'm like, no, Michael Myers in the original Halloween's my favorite, and a few have like made their way onto the list.
Yeah.
But I'll admit, most of them are absolutely horrible.
I mean, the truth is a lot of horror movies are really, really bad, but when you find those gems, some of them are like just some of my favorite movies, like, of all time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still a sucker for like Halloween 5. I think it was 5 too, with the little girl. I don't know. I really like that one.
Number 4 was the good one out of those, because you had 4 and 5 with the little girl, and number 5 was when she lost
Cypher.
her voice.
Yeah, number 5 is the one she's silent.
Yeah,
which one was the one with the death where he like sticks? Was it the girl? He like sticks the girl against the like door, and she's just like hanging. And he, I think it's 5. I want to say it's 5. I don't know. There's too many damn movies. I mix them up. Yeah.
He puts one.
The blonde girl, the blonde girl is super good looking
in the farmhouse.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was a farm. No, I was saying
in the house.
Inside a house.
Yeah,
it was in the house.
No, you're thinking of 5. You're thinking of 5. That's the adopted older sister. Yeah,
you're right. You're talking about the girl that's only wearing the button-up white shirt, and he puts the shotgun directly through her stomach.
That's what it was. It was a shotgun. Yes. He's like, oh, dude, come on.
He just gets it.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Thank you
that's
for
the
clarifying
sheriff's
that.
daughter. The
sheriff's daughter. That's
yes,
it.
That's who it is.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We got there. I set it up for you guys. My memories caca.
Yeah, because she goes out to check on him and see if he needs any coffee or anything like that. And he's just sitting there in the chair, just
in the rocking chair.
Right.
Yes,
you're right.
Yep.
I always find what I always tell people when they start going in on the hate on Season of the Witch, I always tell them, like, listen, if you take away the title, okay, just take away the Halloween title and go into it as a Season of the Witch, is an amazing movie. And the ending itself, what always boggles my mind is whenever those lists of horror movies with the most traumatizing endings and the most sorrowful endings, that is always left off the list. And it's like, how almost like a whole bunch of kids end up dying at the end. Like the whole point is he's screaming in the phone going, "It's still playing, it's still playing."
Yeah.
And then it cuts off and it's like, how did that leave the list? Don't get me wrong, the Mist ending is a gut-wrenching ending, but that is another one.
That you brought that up. I love that movie so much. Good call out.
They hate it so much.
I will say though, in that same vein,
so
right? You've got Halloween 3. That if it had just been called Season of the Witch, like you said, it would have been received differently, right?
Yeah,
because people's expectation, and they led people into thinking that it was going to be tied to Michael Myers because, of course, box office.
Of course.
Well, they had the Michael Myers-esque. The guys the little drone guys walking around, like the guys in the suits, like
when you had the agents,
exactly.
But I would say the same thing with Halloween Ends, to be honest, because with Halloween Ends, that's one of those ones where it's like it feels like the script for that movie started off as a completely different movie altogether. It feels like someone came to Blumhouse and said, "Hey, we've got a script for a movie we want to do. It'll be a small indie thing." And Jason and those guys were like, "We don't have a script for Halloween Ends. We don't know how we want to end this. So let's just use that script and make it a Halloween movie." Like, it feels like, with the exception of the couple cameos that you have of the characters and the end of the movie, it could have been something completely different. So I think if they had called that something other than Halloween, it probably would have done better also.
Well, I was confused after Halloween Kills, because I mean, Halloween Kills is an absolute. I loved Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. They were fantastic additions to the franchise. So at the end of Halloween Kills, I literally, me and my friends were leaving the theater and we're looking at each other going, okay, so how are they going to do a third movie? Because this dude literally just obliterated almost the entire fucking town. So who's left to kill?
All right.
So I was genuinely excited.
Teenagers.
To see, like, there's gotta be, how many people can possibly be left? So I did appreciate the fact that they found more people to kill. I mean, and as far as I know, a lot of people had issue with Michael not being in it very often. He's in that movie more than he's in the original movie. He's in the original movie for like less than 10 minutes.
True.
So him not being in it makes sense. And I can appreciate that they were trying to give the torch to another psychopath. However, the guy that they ended up, he's the new Michael. That was a dead giveaway the second you met that creepy dude. I mean, as soon as he walked on screen, it was like, no, bro. He looks like he would be Norman Bates.
Everything led up to it too. You could see they're setting it up. You know, it would have been nice if they set it up differently where you didn't expect it. You were expecting him to be the creepy guy because of the situation, and then instead it's somebody else. But you know, it's kind of like how scary movies always lead you to believe it's somebody, and then at the end you find out after the fact all these little frames are actually the other characters. You know, and it would have been nice if they did that. That's what I thought they were doing. I thought they were setting it up to flip the script on us. And for Halloween Ends, Halloween Kills, I gotta say, I am so surprised that the DVD I bought is still working. I'm surprised that the player we played it in is still working. I am surprised that the servers that they have the video on are still running. Okay? She just about killed the servers.
Oh, absolutely. You can't tell me I'm wrong on this. The opening sequence of him with the first firefighter that's trying to rescue him, him leaving that burning house. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my firefighters. I know a few who are firefighters, and they love that scene too, because they're like, you know, out of all the ways we're probably going to die on this job, I would absolutely take getting slaughtered by Michael Myers like any day. And the way in which they do it and the brutality, the special effects are just phenomenal. I mean, absolutely exquisite. I couldn't have wished for a better opening.
And it's funny how the offended culture were like, you can't do that to someone that's, and it's like, no,
rescuing lives.
They were upset about it.
Yeah.
It's a horror movie.
I would want to.
It's a horror movie, guys.
A serial killer.
Don't be soft like Charmin. Like you got to
go
in
killer.
There. Like, come on.
A serial killer doesn't care who's in front of his path. If you're in his path, you're dead. It doesn't matter whether you're freaking Mother Teresa.
What's funny about that is that someone actually started the guy wasn't a firefighter. He actually it came out that the guy had actually been rejected to be a firefighter. He didn't make the qualifications for whatever reason.
And that's why he was killed.
He started a petition to have that scene removed from the movie. And what's really funny is there were a couple of there's a couple of firefighters on like TikTok and YouTube and a few other of those social sites. And they actually released responses going, listen, me and my friends here, we're all firemen. We've been firemen for years. We'd love to get butchered by Michael versus burning down in the house. Like, we have no problem with it. That's one of the coolest things we've ever seen. Like, we're getting representation on screen and we're not doing it because of our own stupidity. Like,
that's true.
Like,
I like that. Good little tidbit. Good little
that.
tidbit of information there. This is why I love having like horror crazy people on podcasts, because I didn't know that. Like they always fill in these like awesome gaps of information where like, oh, that's cool to know. Sir X-Man here with the $2 super chat says, this is a good one. I forgot about this movie. Shocker. One of my favorite movies in horror. That's the one where, the guy dies on the electric chair. And then that big bald guy. I don't know if he was ever in anything else, but yeah.
He's on the cover of that.
Is that the one where you keep your ring finger down?
Wait, what?
You keep your ring finger down? The Shocker?
Oh my God. Why didn't I see that coming a mile away? Two in the pink, one in the stick. Yes, absolutely.
I'm done.
Sorry. Yeah,
she dropped off the camera for that one. She's like, no.
Dealer's like, I'm out. Oh,
I'm gonna go feed him up real quick. I'll be back in just a second.
All of a sudden, her camera goes off and hear, Dread getting beat up over there.
So read that one real quick and
this is a good story if you want to talk on it. Cloud Gamer 74. What's the story behind Myers' mask being the face of William Shatner? Yeah, anyone could take this one if you want to go for it.
Well,
go for it.
Do we all know this story then? I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Carpenter actually at that point in time did not have a lot of money. The studio really wasn't impressed, and they didn't think he would do very well. So they gave him an extremely limited budget. Well, the original mask they had, once they put it on camera, they realized it was not going to work. So one of the costume designers ended up going to an estate sale to see what they could find and cobble together. And in the attic, they happened to find an old William Shatner mask back from, I think they came out in the 70s when Star Trek was a big thing. And they decided to paint it white, mess up the hair a little bit, and that was that. And they used that particular mask only for that movie. After that, they had to change it, and that's why you see, if you look, you'll notice slight changes. We're not even going to talk about H2O because that was a whole different scenario.
H2O has 3 different masks.
4.
Was it 4?
And one of them actually changes in the middle of the scene. They were
because of CG.
overdoing it. Yeah, they were overdoing it.
Wow.
But Shatner ended up suing Carpenter and the film company for using his likeness in the movie and as a killer at that. So they had to quickly change it up. That's why, should you ever come across an actual Michael Myers mask that's essentially a Shatner mask painted white,
keep it.
Yeah, keep your hands on it and spend whatever ridiculous amount they're asking for, because you can't get those.
And just to note, there are people now that are making replicas of those Michael Myers masks of the Shatner mask.
Yeah.
Okay? So
those
are pretty pricey too, by the way.
Yeah, there is actually
legit replicas.
There is actually a company, and off the top of my head, I can't think of it. They actually have a contract, a licensing agreement with Shatner to sell the correct mask. But yeah, he's right. They run I think $90 or $100 for just a latex mask.
Trick or Treat Studios, I think.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So speaking of that, and to tie this back into games real quick,
yes,
I want to share this because this is actually pretty cool.
Dealer's gonna love this one.
This is available on Fortnite right now. So, and we're gonna go ahead and play this is actually I think it's 500 credit. If you just buy it by itself, then of course it has the whole thing where you're Michael Myers and the knife and everything. So.
That's so good. I love.
And it just repeats after that.
That's cool. Great.
I love that.
So good.
Do you want to play Fortnite?
That reminds me, I should turn off my ringtone.
I have to go. I have to go buy that. I got to remember to buy that.
Can't wait to kill a bunch of people with Michael Myers on that. It's gonna be amazing.
There you go.
I'm asking Death Dealer, does she want to play Fortnite now?
Oh, she's not a Fortnite person. I got you.
Oh, I despise. okay, when
You don't like the
year
dancing,
Fortnite
right?
came out, well, there's actually a real reason for it. It's not the video game itself that I despise. It's the group of teenagers that I had to deal with the year it came out.
Yeah.
Now, again, I run a haunted house. My whole job is to terrorize these people, and it is extremely obnoxious the year that that game that came out, because I kid you not, everyone between the ages of like 10 to like 18 were coming through and doing the stupid dances and stuff. And I'm looking at them like, can you please just go? Like, I don't even have the energy to stay in character and tell you to get away from me. Can you just go? So it just annoyed me before I ever had the chance to play it.
And it wasn't
So
just it wasn't just Death Dealer. Everybody in the house that works, well, volunteers with us. We all cannot stand it. That's why it took me so long to get back into Fortnite, and that's why when we were playing, I was like,
broke you, Dread.
Well, no, I still am like, seriously, do we still have to do these dances while we're sitting here waiting to load? I was annoyed with that because
just
again, it was
the good ones.
It was triggering me.
There's some good dances now, to be fair.
Well,
I
you know,
get it,
another
I get what you're
thing,
saying.
another part that kind of got me too is that as I don't know if any of you guys ever did any of the popular dances back when we were in school and things, but what cracks me up is that they're doing these dances and all I can think is, honey, we used to do that way back in the day and we look stupid back then doing those moves. You look ridiculous now. And what cracks me up is like, you guys were so lame when you were young. You had such bad dances. So then why are you bringing the Harlem Shake back?
You're bringing it back, exactly, because all good stuff comes back, or all bad stuff comes back.
It's the same people that are like, props on Post Malone for giving this old man a chance. You know, this old man is so good. Oh, by the way, he goes by Ozzy Osbourne. I've never heard of this guy before. And it's like, are you kidding me?
Right.
So Black Sabbath.
You bit the head off of a bat. He's gonna bite your head off too. How dare you, sir?
I literally had to explain that situation with the bat head biting.
With the bat, the contract.
That was real. That actually happened because it was a joke at first. Someone threw a live bat. He bit it, and before he even realized it, he already bit its head off. And then they stopped everything and ran to the hospital to make sure that he was vaccinated for rabies and all that. So it did happen.
Crazy motherfucker.
But it was a skit for the show that they were putting on, and some moron threw a live one. So and people are like, they don't believe that. It's like, no, that did happen. That's not a joke. It's not a myth. It did happen.
I've noticed though, a lot of these younger generations, they seem to crack me up because they really, and I blame the parents for not teaching their kids who these people were and whatnot. I had a conversation with a 16-year-old not too long ago, and she had brought up Snoop Dogg to me. And she's like, oh, yeah, you know, the guy that did that cooking show with Martha Stewart, you know, the big. And I'm like, Snoop Dogg? And she's like, yeah, him. She's like, she's like, he tries to act gangster. She's like, but, you know, I'm not really.
He literally was a real gangster in real
life.
I
looked at her and I was like, honey, he has a song called Murder Was the Case that they gave me. And it's based on an actual trial he had to go through because he was on trial for murder, honey. It's not an act. He's just old and wants to take it easy like the rest of us. Okay.
Yeah. He's not running with the Bloods and Crips no more. There's no Latin Kings in Snoop's life no more. He wants to chill. We'll let him do.
It's kind of like when the Gen Z tried to cancel Eminem over that song he did with Rihanna.
That never works out, right?
What I had to laugh was, oh, honey, if that's the lyric that upsets you and you want to cancel him, you may never want to listen to Kim or any of his early stuff. Slim Shady is not for you, sweetie.
No. Definitely not. I love it.
Shady's for the kids.
I love it. So
he was one of these few that told the FAA to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, yeah. And there's so many tie-ins to games and movies and music, and we're probably going to jump around to kind of get a feel for like what is your well, there you go, what's your favorite horror games and why, but obviously we could probably talk all day, each one of us, but let's kind of bottle it down to one or two.
We're gonna do it one. We're gonna go around the horn because I don't want because so we'll start with Dread and we'll work our way around. That way, everyone at least gets like one shot of their game. So think hard on that game that you want to pick because there's so many good horror games out there, in my opinion.
I will pick one that I will not double up with my wife. Okay, so the one that I like is the best, and I wish they would come back with it, is Fear, because Alma mind fucks you.
Shouldn't have let you go first.
Mentally mind fucks you. And
so
that's
good.
the beauty of it, because when she pops out, she doesn't always pop out at the same spots in the same time. When you replay it, the triggers are different times, which is so great. I love the fact that it's so random. And granted, it goes with the story. Alma,
psychological horror at its finest. I love that you brought that up, Dread. One of my favorite parts of that game. A lot of games now, like Alan Wake's and your Resident Evils, they don't allow you to have any bullets. You get 6 and it's 6 bullets. You're lucky. Not in Fear. So you get the psychological side with Alma scaring the shit out of you in the hallways and wherever, just popping out of nowhere. And then you have the bad guys too, where you can they're like sponges. You just have unlimited number of bullets. Well, I love that game. I love that you brought that up, Trey. That's such a good callback. Fear. The Fear series was definitely a great series of games.
I was hoping with some of these other games that have come out, I won't name them just in case somebody else is going to name it. I was hoping that would reignite it, but I know there's a lot of legalities on ownership, which is why the series died in the first place, because it was bouncing around between different studios and who owned the what rights and this and that. But I was hoping that would get them back together to at least remake it. Like, the Resident Evil style of remakes, not PlayStation remake.
Can you imagine? Oh, I would love to see Fear get like the RE2, like or Resident Evil in general. Just, oh my God, just polish it. You don't have to change it too much. Just give it some updated, graphic fidelity, extra frames in there. Oh my God, I would love that so much. But yeah, I didn't realize that was kind of like Mech Assault, where it's just like, is it ever going to happen? Because it's in licensing hell. Is it, I would love to see Fear come back though. So somebody make it happen. I really don't care who it is at this point. I just want to see it come back.
Hey, RHETRI, I did like read what Big Mad Mo said.
Big Mad Mo says Sneak King.
See, and he's 100% right. Because, dude, poking out of like the garbage cans, like popping out of it and scaring the kids and stuff in that game.
I love that.
That was so jarring. Like, it was so messed up.
I do that in real life, though. That's the funny part.
These guys do it for a living on
you're dressed up as the BK King, though. Like, that's a whole different level of.
In my trail, I actually have a scarecrow, and people get scared of the scarecrow. And the scarecrow is just a dummy. It's just literally nothing.
Scarecrows
there.
Are scary, man.
And they get scared of that because they think somebody's there. And then the sense of, there's nothing. And then they move through my section of the house, and then I pop out of nowhere, and people are like, "Where did you even come from?"
Right.
And I do my little spiel and everything, and then as they leave my section, I come back and I tell them the wrong way. And I scare the living crap out of them again. And people are like, how did you even move that fast without us even hearing you? So Sneak King, you got my vote on that one, because I do the same thing.
I didn't expect to hear it. Like, this is why I love like asking people. Like, I didn't see that answer coming from a mile away. Never had a Sneak King. I love that. Silent, what about you, brother? We'll go to you next. What game is one of your favorite horror games, and tell us why?
Well, things have changed a little bit over the last 12 to 24 hours, but I'm not going to bring up that. I'm not going to bring that up because I don't want to.
Okay, thank you.
Ruin
Taking all my answers.
yeah. And you know what? I'm going to go back in the weeds a little bit because I was about to mention something else from Monolith, but you know what? I'm going to go back a little further, and I'm going to go to Clive Barker's Undying.
Dude, that is
wow.
This was out on PC way back in the day. And that one was one where, like, with the audio cues, with the visuals, all that stuff, like, yeah, there's stuff like Phantasmagoria that definitely had more of a scare and jump to it in some of the occurrences, and definitely was like twisted. But Clive Barker's Undying was one of the first times I feel like where we had a first person action adventure, like shooter type of thing with a whole bunch of like occult stuff tied around it, where it just it was very atmospheric. And that one's one that I still to this day like. You know, you jump back to it now, obviously the visuals are no good, but the atmosphere and stuff is still there, and it was really, really good. The voice acting was garbage, but the game in general was really, really good. That's one that I think that one's another one that runs into rights issues too, right? Because you've got Clive Barker, you have EA, who was the original holder on that one, and it's just one of those things of like that one's probably in remake or remaster hell ultimately, and it's unfortunate, but I don't know if that one would necessarily hold up as well as some games would with a remake or remaster treatment at this point in time. I feel like you'd have to do a complete like from bare bones,
from the ground
remaster.
up.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like you'd have to just completely remake it. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the trailer.
This is another one. I did not see anyone mentioning Undying. So good pick. Like we got the right panel here, man. Like I like, look, I got a bad memory. I completely even forgot. It was the second you said Clive Barker, and that I forgot about this game, that it existed.
Yeah.
So
call
out for that one.
Let's also not forget that he had another one that was actually shown in Grandma's Boy that actually never ended up making it.
Tormented.
That game looks so cool, dude. I remember watching that movie going, this has got to be a real thing. It looked too damn good.
It is.
It was almost set for release.
They lost their funding for some reason at the very end.
I would have loved to see just how it actually played, because it looked badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. So that's what I would go with. I wanted to try and dive back a little bit just in case anyone wanted to go a little more modern with their picks.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to be the layup here. I'll go Death Dealer. Let's go to you next. What horror game is one of your favorites and why?
Oh, okay.
I know it's
this
tough.
One is extremely easy. No, this one's actually really easy
this
for
is
me
easy for you.
because
All right, good.
I've talked about this numerous times, and this isn't exactly the right picture, but I am a huge fan of Dead Island, the original, and I absolutely love what I would consider the second game, but it's technically an expansion, Dead Island Riptide.
Yep.
I love those games, and those are my absolute top. That's my top favorite. And Dead Island 2 has actually now reached to that status. I have been pleasantly surprised, and it was well worth the 11-year wait with all the the modern jokes and things they slipped in. I couldn't have been any happier.
Everyone I know who played Dead Island 2, I feel like Dead Island 2, I kind of was like, we were hearing it was going through hell and during the development. So I just assumed it was going to be a turd. Everybody I know who played it enjoyed it.
Ironically,
nobody has anything bad to say about it.
Ironically, that had like almost no bugs.
Yeah.
Well, everything else is surrounded by games with bugs, and Dead Island comes out of here in development hell with no bugs. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, the only complaint that I have with Dead Island 2 is that they changed the controls around for this one, whereas with Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide, they left the controllers, the buttons and everything the same, Whereas with the second one, they changed it all around. And with me playing the original 2 for over 10 years at this point, switching to that one, I have a hard time with that one, but that is my only complaint. Otherwise, it is a fantastic game. I love all the side quests, and especially like walking through the influencers' houses, and that is the funniest thing. And then the general, I thought the general, you know what? I'm gonna get canceled, so I'm not even gonna finish that. I was surprised by the general. Let's just put it that way. It was not what I was expecting.
Spoiler alert!
If you guys,
the general,
if you guys played the game,
Mayhem.
you'll know what she's talking about. I love that. Yeah, there's some great picks in the chat too. I see people touting Left 4 Dead. Why does everyone forget about Left 4 Dead? No effing way do we forget about Left 4 Dead.
No.
That's
been on my list of games that I love.
High on my list. I put easily over 1,000 hours in those games. Left 4 Dead, no joke. Big fan of that.
I gotta add a side note. Okay, you got Dead Island, Riptide, and then you have Dead Island 2. There is another game between Riptide and 2. It's called Dead Island.
Avoid
we don't talk about Fight Club Dread.
It's an 8-bit game that didn't even have anything to do with the developers or anything. They just bit off the name, and that was all. As far as I'm concerned.
Oh no, that was a different one. That's the add-on. There's a little side scroller that they added with the collector's edition. That one there, it's not even worth it, but it comes free. But Escape Dead Island is another game that you do not want to play. It is the worst
garbage.
Dread's like, side note, don't play this. You thought I was going to tell you to play this. Don't play this one.
Don't even waste the $5. I think it dropped down to like $2 at one point in time. Don't even waste it. Don't even waste your time.
I think I would say Death Dealer to your pick on that too. I think the Dead Island 2 trailer that we ended up getting from like 2013, 2015 time frame. I think that is probably still one of my favorite trailers for a video game. I don't know if you remember that one, but it's got Pigeon John in it with "I'm the Bomb," and you know, like you're listening to that while the dude's like slowly degrading as he's skating. It's just it's so good.
How about
it's one of the best trailers. It's like it was like the Gears trailer, for me. Like that was one. That's seriously a very, very. I love that you brought that up. That was one of the best trailers I had seen in a long time, especially for a horror game.
I like the fact,
dude. No, the spoof. No.
I have to say
the spoof was too soon.
That
spoof was funny. It was the Goat Simulator 3.
Yes.
I have to say though,
I'm with you, right? It was pretty funny.
I don't know if anyone else has noticed this with other video games, but like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call one out in particular. We Happy Few. Okay, the trailers we originally got before it was released when they announced it, the demo we got when they released the demo for it, definitely was not anywhere near what the game we actually got. So it was nice that Dead Island stuck with what they showed us and continued with that. They kind of went, oh, well, you guys have some complaints. Well, then just don't play the game. This is the game we're making. This is how we're going to do it. And if whereas We Happy Few went, oh no, a few people complained, we're changing the whole game. And unfortunately, it was, to me, I mean, I know some people enjoyed it. And hey, not everyone has the same taste. I'm the type of person where if you like the game, I'm happy for you. It's not my personal preference, but as long as someone enjoys it, fine. But it really kind of aggravates me when you bamboozle me into buying this game for it to be like, you know, shit. It's kind of like, I mean, like another one would be Alien Isolation. When the trailer came out, it looked like I was going to get more action. I was going to see more. And then I understand a lot of people like the game. And again, I'm happy that everyone likes it, but Alien Isolation for me just was disappointing. It was not what I was expecting.
Did you not think it was scary though? I thought the tension in Alien Isolation was almost too much for me. Like I was just like high.
I found it boring.
I'm the guy who wants weapons. Yeah, I
just found it boring. It wasn't the tension.
I kind of agree
I
with you
was
a
just
little bit.
like, I just kept walking around like, okay, I'm supposed to hide, but
it's a lot of
for how long?
It was a walking simulator. It was a walk and hide simulator, kind of.
Yeah. It's like, at least give me like, you could have at least given me Ripley's original, story. Like I would have been fine if you had given me Alien. I would have been okay with that. Yeah, I know the movie, but at least I know I'm going to get somewhere. Whereas this one, it was like, okay, when am I going to see an alien? At this point, I want them to kill me.
Right.
I'm so bored.
Right, just so you can see the death
I'm walking around looking for them. Like, where are they? It just wasn't it for me.
Something they got sabotaged with too, which was super unfortunate, is I don't know if you remember, like when it was in development early on, they're like, hey, we've got this. And I think they even came out and were like, we're planning on like a 12 to 15 hour experience in and out. You get your scare, you go. And unfortunately, upper management was at that time where everyone was like, no, we can't only have a 12-hour game, because that's not big enough. That's not going to that's not going to have enough retention moving forward. So they ended up making the story about 20 to 22 hours, which as you play the game, like I won't go into spoilers, but there's definitely moments where like you see where they were originally planning on ending it. And then you see, it's like Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. There's like 30 different endings for this damn game because they couldn't come up with a way to continue the story in like an intelligible way. And it was unfortunate because like I said, you saw their original ending and you could tell very much like this is where the game ends. But then it went for like another 10 hours and it was rough. Like it's a really good game, and some of the stuff in those last 10 hours is pretty cool, but it just felt like you could have had a very clean, like just a nice 10-12 hour experience in and out, and then just like that would have left a better impression, I think, with everyone.
I'm okay with that.
I did like how they decided to include the Kinect with it. So
yes, the Kinect functionality was awesome,
cool. But again, if I'm always constantly hiding, or and it's like, I think that's part of one of the things with survival games. If you don't do it right and you don't have enough action or a way to keep you
engaged the audience.
Thank you. Yeah, engaged. Then it just leads to being boring, and that's what it was for us. I just it was a disappointment.
I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with the audience and anyone else.
Okay.
You guys want to get me halfway through and get me to the good stuff? I'll pick up the game from there. I will happily finish it from there. Get me through the boring stuff, and I'm game.
Someone play it for her the first 20 hours. She'll play the end of it.
I tried. I couldn't even do it myself. Because they're like, oh yeah, it picks up at this point. I'm like, when do I get to this point to pick up?
That's 19 hours in the game and it gets good. Go F yourself. I ain't got time for that.
Hey,
Rob F here.
It gets good.
Let me read that. A couple of super chats too.
Yeah, Rob F just became a YouTube member. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Rob F. What's going on, man? Sir X-Man with the $2 super chat. Very good call out. Forgot about this game. I can't believe I forgot about this game. It didn't even make my list somehow. Condemned. The mannequins. He says the mannequins scared me so much. Absolutely. Very, very good pick, dude, on Condemned.
I was gonna say that one, but I didn't want to steal anyone else's idea. But again, that's one of those ones that's a rights nightmare because it was Monolith. It was. And it's just a combination. Like I think it was about 10 years ago, the main dev for Monolith and for the Condemned, like the rights holder for it, he was like, hey, if you guys want to do another game, like if someone's interested in working with me, I would love to come on and make another game. And then nothing ever happened. It sucked. Like he threw that out there into the world, and like ether, no one responded.
Nobody raised their hand. Like, come on, man!
I would have done it with him.
I can picture the cover right now. For some reason it's just like one of those that like gets stuck in my head.
Well, to be fair, he he also got kind of he approached people in the wrong time too, because like 10 years ago, that was right when, you know, Xbox was dealing with the TV thing.
Right.
Finances were not amazing. They were not in an active acquire space at that point in time. If they had been like Microsoft and Xbox now, that would be a different story, I think. But
Hey, Phil, Phil, if you're watching this, did you hear what Silent Cypher said? Somebody might be available. You might want to look into this.
If he's even doing anything now, I don't know if the guy's even in the industry.
What should I say?
Sandra Bond
watches RHETRI.
Yeah. We know he does.
Yeah, exactly.
I volunteer voice work. I can't do any of the techie stuff, but I will help you write a story and do some voice. I got a great scream. I got a wonderful scream.
I can do the physical
and I can
work.
do creepy really well too.
Yeah.
I don't. That doesn't surprise me. Why is that? RHETRI, your turn, buddy.
Yes.
Go ahead, man. Let's get on to you.
Okay. I was gonna go to you, but
well, because if I get your thing, you might be mad at me. So
I think I know yours, but I don't know. I think I know yours, and I kind of almost want to guess it, but I will go with mine, and that for me is Dead Space. It just got, the remake just came from obviously EA Play. Everything from EA Play comes to Game Pass, so I'm playing that right now. I almost forgot how much I love that game so much. The jump scares from the Necromorphs. I love the whole story with Isaac and Nicole. The setting, it's like Event Horizon. It's like Event Horizon, the video game, which is one of the scariest damn movies ever. I just love it. I just love it so much. The weapons are really cool. Like the one with I can't remember what the hell it's called. The saw one that like shoots out the saw blades and shit. That game just hit at the right time. I think it was 2008 when the original was. Hit at the right time for me. Yes, ma'am. It's just such a cool looking outfit too. The one, with the engineer outfit, being an engineer myself or ex-engineer myself. I just love this game. The atmosphere is so good. The audio in this game is second to none. It is so damn good. And there's like little whispers in the hallways, and you're like, what the hell is that? And you hear the creatures kind of going through the vents and shit. And it's not all, there's pop-out scares too with the Necromorphs coming out, but it's not, it's a lot of psychological stuff in this too. So I appreciate games that have kind of like a build up too, where they don't necessarily scare you, but the game makes you think there's going to be a jump scare and they just don't do it. So the next time when they actually do it, it's a good payoff. You know what I mean? Same thing with like movies that do that. That's why the original Halloween and Michael Myers not being there that long still worked. And you didn't need him there to be in there on screen for an hour and a half. But for me, definitely Dead Space. I'm playing it right now. I'm about 10 hours in. I fucking love that game so much. So I'm going to go to you. Go ahead, Sal.
Oh, real quick, I want to interject. This is actually still one of the scariest games. It's still highly ranked as one of the scariest video games to have come out. So just headed to
download it.
I don't understand why it's scary. It's just creatures.
And it's in Game Pass.
It's not scary.
Dread, yes, it is.
The first playthrough is scary, but if you do a new game plus with it, you end up getting to carry over the better suits, and you get to the point where you're pretty much invincible.
Yeah, you're like a Terminator at that point.
It's definitely not scary like after the first time, but even then, you go from the original release of the game to this remaster that they did, and they've changed enough that there's definitely some story beats and some things that change that definitely keep you on your toes. RHETRI, the thing that I was going to mention to you is that in the remake that they ended up doing for this, they actually went way more in detail with the video logs and stuff like that. So I feel like this one really had a lot more of that. It had more of that, like that mental and like mental health, like strain and stress type of story. With a lot of the characters, like you got to see more of the characters fleshed out than they were on the first game, and it made a massive difference. Like that I think kind of tied you to those characters a lot more than the original game did, and that made it harder for some of those occurrences.
I love that you brought that up because like a lot of the audio logs too, like everything was definitely this is to me there are very few like remakes or remasters, whatever you want to call them, that are just top notch. Resident Evil 2 is there, and I put Dead Space right next to it. Like I think it's that good, and the implementation that the team did for this game. I mean, brought elements that were in Dead Space 2 into Dead Space 1 to make it more fun with the gunplay and whatnot, and some of the powers. So, and they changed the flow of the actual ship itself, just so you could get back and forth around the ship easier. Because a lot of that was basically what they did was they listened to the community, heard all their complaints, and fixed almost every damn one of them.
Yeah,
so
they
hats off to the team.
They literally opened it up to like a open exploration. You could go all over the ship,
which
instead
I
of
like
being
so much better.
And tied with that, they actually made it where like loading screens, stuff like that, like the traditional layout of that game is completely different versus this
so
remake.
Different.
It's really good.
It's such a better experience. I hope you guys play it again. It's on Game Pass right now. Shout out to Silent for backing me up. Shut up, Dread. I don't care if you don't think it's scary. The rest of us are pussies.
Dude, I'm with you all day. Like I said,
I don't stream this shit because y'all would have been laughing at me screaming like a girl when because I forgot some of the jump scares.
Well, now you need to stream it because I want to see.
You absolutely. People love that. They enjoy it.
I know they do. I don't want them. I don't want them to watch
me.
They
love
like
listening.
Little bitch. Look at this guy.
You
they don't even watch me. They just listen to me scream, and they think it's hysterical.
I mean, it's even better. Like Crazy Louie will stream some of this stuff, and I'm messing with him that he's by himself and the door's opening, and and I'm like, why is your pictures on the wall shifting over? I'm like, they're not straight anymore, and he's like, I'm by myself. Don't be messing with me. He's like, of course, Dreadpool would have to be the one that comes in here. And what do you think, RHETRI? What do you think's going to happen? I'm going to be fucking with you too.
That's why I'm doing it.
Fucking with you too,
dude. One of my favorites was jumping into the General C's Twitch streams when he was doing Twitch streams of horror games or anything.
I agree. That's how I got introduced to General C, dude.
Right?
Was watching those. They are
like
fun to watch.
You jump in there and you just start dropping like the suspense scream or whatever, like when he's just roaming through like a really quiet corridor. And I'm pretty sure I probably made him shit himself 1 or 2 times. Because it was amazing.
One you wanted?
Oh. Yeah.
All right, Dave. Dave, you're up next. Because listen, we are gonna do another round of this. And because it's based on a game, and I might be alone in this, that you were legit too afraid to finish. And I have those, and people in the chat are putting the game that I did not finish in there right now.
Right,
but Dave, what's one of your favorites?
Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and knock out these 2 super chats real quick.
Sir X-Man with the $2. Outlast, considered the scariest game of all time.
Oh, I'm sure it's on top 10 for sure. Yeah,
maybe. Mr. I'm gonna come back to that, Sir X-Man. Mr. Joanna Dark with the $2 super chat. Favorite horror: Fatal Frame 1, 2, 3. That's a good one. Siren. How about Siren? Amnesia, the Amnesia series. That's a good. I haven't touched any of Amnesias yet. So and PT, good PT call demo, out. PT, sure. 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
So if it's my turn,
yes,
I'm
sir.
I'm actually gonna do a 2 for 1. Because
cheater,
well,
you're the host.
We'll see if we accept it.
One of the hosts. I'm a co-host.
One of the hosts. So you get that liberty.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. So basically, and there's a little story at the end. I'll tell you about that at the end if you haven't already heard it. It's actually pretty creepy. So one of my favorite horror movies, and I'd say it's in the top 10. So, but it's not the only one. So I got a lot of them. But the and then they released the movie. And to me, which a lot of people panned it and said, "Oh, it wasn't a good horror movie adaptation from the game," and I'm like, "You're fucking crazy if you don't think this is an on."
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say this one. I know what you're gonna say.
So and
I knew it. I knew you were saying that.
And we have the audio too, which we can talk over.
Number 1 and number 2 were both really good.
Dude, it is
2 is the gem.
I love this movie. and I thought it was so well written. Sean Bean was phenomenal in it,
and Radha Mitchell,
and the camera angles they were, they had.
Dude, they nailed the aesthetic. Look at it; it's just like the damn game.
Was participated on the writing of the screenplay for this, so most people don't know that. So, and they took game scenes and they recreated them. Especially the one coming up here in a minute, you'll see it's just absolutely phenomenal. That it's almost like you're playing the game in high def because it's so well written. They got the official sound effect that they used in the original game, for the siren. All that stuff is it's like I said, it's so well done to me. And the coolest thing was worked at GameStop opening night. They had a pre-show for it, so it was like the night before. This was way back in the day, a long time ago when this came out into theaters. So opening night, friend of mine's manager, and so we got the tickets. So it was all like it started at like midnight or something like that, and it let out at like 2 because it was the midnight release of the movie. And when we got out at like 2:00 in the morning, it was the worst fog I had ever seen in my life.
Right,
had engulfed the theater.
Yeah,
and I am not lying. We literally couldn't see 5 or 10 feet in front of you. You couldn't see any cars in the parking lot, and all of our cars were in the parking lot. And there was like 15 of us that left it. And then we're like, holy fuck! One of my assistants, he started screaming and took off running through into the fog. We were all like, all right, great, this is awesome. So yeah, so just like I said, if you haven't played the game, you really need to. I know the original was PlayStation 1, and it's PlayStation 1 graphics. It's not great graphics, but at the time when it came out, holy crap! And number 2
the shit.
Was good. Yeah. The HD remakes of which start with 2 because 1 is it really just needs to be
2's the best,
redone.
hands down. There's the Silent Hill 2 with introducing Pyramid Head. That sound, dude. I agree. I love that you brought this up. This was on my list of movies as well, Dave. So I think this is one of those that's like it's underrated. I just think this movie's underrated.
I loved it that just like the game, they did the whole degrading between the worlds as it goes from one world to the next, and they captured it so well in this scene. And this is getting ready to end, but still, it's like, dude, yeah. But yeah, it just to me it's one of the best. Now, there's a lot of great horror movies out there. There's a lot of great horror games, and all of us, So, but yeah, RHETRI, I'll let you jump back on this on the conversation. Look, we have another super chat who really didn't have to do a super chat.
Oh, this guy. I know this guy.
Hello.
Look at this sexy ball bastard. Silent Cypher with the $5 super chat. You could have just said it, Mr. Joanna. That's why. Now I know why he spent money. This is well worth it. Yeah, it's all about the slander. I'm right here with you, Cypher. We will not back down, Mr. Joanna Dark. Veronica is scary because of the heaping piles of dog shit that it is. Amen. I don't care if it's the highest rated RE game that there is, whatever.
That's great. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them. Right. Most of them stink.
Some of them were bad. Yeah.
Man, that was I'm with you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Joanna. You're not getting Veronica love on this show, brother, and you know it.
Yeah, you can take that nonsense right to the dump.
Silent Hill, Dead Space. Let me flip a coin. Oh, look, it's a double-headed coin. WebDave, you're getting heads, and RHETRI, you're getting tails.
WebDave's getting heads.
All right, Dreadpool. Enough with the slander on my Dead Space love. It's fine. All right, so go ahead, Dread. Go ahead.
I was gonna say no, but that's the game that I was hyped for. To be honest, I still give it. No. Dead Space. I still give it shit because I was hoping that would push fear to come back. I was rooting for it. So.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It was well received. I mean, I know a lot of people loved the Dead Space remake, which came out in January and I was already on Game Pass. So it didn't even take a year, guys.
I'll tell you one thing that it is going to do is it's going to pump out that Dead Space 2 remake.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That's the one I'm real. Yeah, that's my favorite of the series. So I hope
the eyeball scene.
He says,
I'll say.
yeah, oh, Jesus, yeah. Silent Hill movies did well in my opinion. Oh, crap. Sorry, I was reading that.
sorry.
As a gamer no, you're good. As a gamer that loves Silent Hill games, I approved of them both. Great games and movies. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like if I just say if you watch a Silent Hill movie, the cop scene. That's all I'm going to say is the cop scene. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That ruined.
Yeah,
that is messed up.
I just hope the next Silent Hill game, they don't just, let's just HD it. Let's do a real quality of life upgrade.
Yeah, give it the Resident Evil treatment.
Well, the lady that played the cop in Silent Hill in the movie, that was the Angela from The Walking Dead. They had the same actress, so that was pretty cool. One of those things where it's like when you see her, you don't do a double take. And I was like, wait a minute,
I can't remember Angela from The Walking Dead.
I'm
trying to remember. This is weird because I was a huge Walking Dead fan. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, that's all right. She was the blonde.
There were a few blondes.
Wait, are you talking about the? I think you're mixing her up with somebody else, maybe, Dave. Are you sure? The blonde was oh Jesus, now I can't remember her name. In the comic book, she was the sniper, and they made her shit in the show.
Of the sisters.
Yeah, well, she came in when Michonne did, I believe, in the series. So not going off comics, going by the series.
Yeah, I don't remember her in the series, to be honest with you.
She ended up her demise with the governor.
Don't go by my memory. It's shit anyways.
No, that was, she was one of the original cast members.
Hey,
she left and then came back.
Okay.
Big Mad Mo, you can watch Silent Hill, I believe, on Hulu. It's either Hulu. What it's I'm almost positive one of the stream sites has it. I know
I always Google that. Sometimes like you can find I'll be like where to watch this and it'll tell you the streaming service it is on.
Yeah.
Watch it on a streaming service or even rent it outright.
Yeah, it's great.
It should be cheap anyway.
It's got to be cheap. Yeah, it's got to be super cheap by now. If
What's up,
I don't know. Some of them they still charge ridiculous amount.
Sean Bean is amazing.
So, like I said,
or you can just do what I do, use a VPN, and you just get it for free. So there you go.
Yeah,
I forgot it's got the creepy little girl from Smallville in it too.
Yeah, definitely check that one out, Big Mad Mo. I think you'll appreciate it. I think it's one of those horror movies that goes.
And the other actress that ended up, she was the Borg Queen in those Star Trek movies. Can't think of her name. She was really good. Sorry, another good horror movie was.
No, wait, you know what, you guys? You're thinking you guys had the character all wrong. The chick that plays Angela in The Walking Dead, she plays the cop in the Silent Hill movie, I believe.
Yes,
that's what he was just saying.
Yeah,
that's what he just said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she plays I didn't remember her.
She plays the cop. I thought you guys were saying she played I was like, no, she's not. I think she's the cop in it.
Yeah,
but
she's the cop. Yep.
Yeah, she is in it. Yeah.
See, I'm right. Thank you.
So
she wrong.
I had to think for a few minutes, but yes,
I don't remember her.
So for Big Mad Mo and anyone else that's interested, it looks like potentially Peacock and Hulu both have it if you have a subscription.
Yeah, and Crackle is a free. Yeah, Crackle's free, so they probably have it on there as well because Crackle has actually expanded their catalog tremendously since when they first started.
Does Crackle have a paid version though? I swear, I thought they had a paid version too. Is it always free?
I don't think so.
It used to be free.
They have commercials.
But they might charge now, because of the commercials. They used to not do commercials, so. But I haven't used Crackle in a while, so
I haven't used Crackle in years, so I don't know what it's like now. But let's move on to the next thing, because we're gonna round horn this again because I might be the only one who has this. I don't know because I'm a pussy. But is there a game that was too scary that you did not finish? Let's still go with you, Dread.
No.
God, I knew it. I'm gonna be all by myself. That's fine.
I'll keep playing. I don't care. These games, no matter how enthralled I get into them, don't scare me. It's a medium that some movies will get me with the jump scares or you know what I mean, the creepy noise. But when it comes to games, I don't really jump. I don't know
That's
what it is.
weird because it should be like you're part of it. You are the character. You would think you'd be more. See, dude, I am like when I play any video game, it's like I'm there. Like the whole world disappears for me. Like, it doesn't matter if it's COD, I'm still sweating. So every game makes me nervous because I like winning and I don't like dying. So yeah, horror games are very scary for me.
You know, I'll get that anxiousness, but I don't jump, and nothing will
I do
get me scared like that. I mean, just the other week, I was in my trail. I was recording the video, and these little girls were in front of me. They're like, I have a feeling every time we look away, he's going to get closer. So I started doing that. Well, the people behind me decided that they were going to mess with me, and I can hear them. And the lady comes up to my shoulder and goes, "Rah!" And I look down at her like, okay, like I didn't hear you coming from a mile away. And they're like, ha, 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 you got him. And I'm like, no, you didn't. And you watch some of these videos where I have, you know, they're all self-facing stuff. And I'm like, okay, this one here, I jumped. And when you look at it, you couldn't even tell I jumped. But I'm telling you, yes, I jumped. This person actually scared me in these things. But I generally don't jump. That's why I have to have people with me. I'm too relaxed when it comes to going through that. It doesn't, none of that stuff scares me. Heights,
fair enough,
me, but
only his wife terrifies him.
Heights and you. That's it. It's a very short list.
Heights will get me, but I still go out there and do stuff. I'm like 40 feet off the ground, you know, just hovering off of nothing, and it doesn't bother me. Where everybody else is like holding on for dear life onto the railings, and it's like, come on, man. And I'm jumping on the thing, even though I'm, you know, heights get me, but I'm jumping on the lift, you know, and making it move around. And they're like, stop doing that. I'll do that in the elevators.
Sure.
So
I mean, I'm the same way. It's like I think there's almost like a thing with some people, like if it scares you, they avoid it, and even if it scares me, I lean into it. Like kind of like what you're saying, like Dread, like you're scared of heights, like I am too, but I'll be the same asshole shaking, you know, doing that shit. You just kind of like, when there's some people can push past, some people are just like, nah, I'm good.
And
like,
in my industry, when there's stuff going on, when everybody should be running out of the building, I'm running into the building.
Yeah,
you know,
should have been a firefighter.
I did that live.
And the next Halloween,
my hero.
Dave, you remember that? I did that live on Boom's channel. I said, hold on, I'll be right back. I set the headphones down and took off running because my wife saw one of the neighbors' houses, all the smoke bellowing.
Actually, I remember that. Yeah.
So, you know, again, I'm not a firefighter. I'm just a concerned person that
just a crazy guy with the neighbor's hose.
Go after them. You know, they're only barbecuing, but still, I'm out there to, you know. So again, it's one of those things that going into danger, when it's the way I look at it, it's risk management. You know, I'm not going to put myself in the line of fire, but you know, this is a video game. There's no risk here, so it doesn't affect me that way.
You know? Fair enough. All right, Dread's braver than the rest of us. Silent, let's move on to you. Please tell me you have one.
Stupid.
I don't want to be. Am I going to be the only one with an answer to this? I hope not.
You're going to go ahead and be the only one.
That's fine. That's fine.
I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this, and I won't get into spoilers because obviously, like, this thing just came out. But I just started playing Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
And this shit is intense in some areas.
I heard the opening is fantastic on that game.
Dude, it is amazing. I messaged some of the guys on the background yesterday after I played like the first couple chapters, and I was like, dude, this is big for Remedy. Like you know, visuals aside, like visuals look freaking awesome on the Series S, on the Series X, where I've tested it so far. It looks freaking amazing. But just the atmosphere, the characters, like the story and narrative that they're tying in with their universe and stuff is just, it like I said, I won't go into spoilers, but holy shit. If you were sleeping on Alan Wake 2, you need to pick it up. You need to play it.
It's $50 Alan Wake too. Price
50.
Like
is it?
Well, 50. I'm sorry. It's 50 on PC. I think it's 60 on console. Sorry, I'm going to be spending $50. I think it's priced right.
If I recall, I think CD Keys had it for Xbox for $50 too.
Oh, okay. There you go.
If I recall, I found in one of the Discord chats.
Yeah, pick it up, because holy shit, from what I've seen so far, like I said earlier, like I had kind of something set in mind as to what has been like my favorite horror game or like scary, type of game.
Yeah.
The way that this game starts, the way that it's played out so far, I have to give these guys props. Like Remedy has outdone themselves on this. Alan Wake 1 is definitely not the same style of game as this game is, and it becomes very clear very fast. I want to say it was Mr. Dark actually mentioned that it's got that like True Detective feel to it and layout, and it's really cool the way that it actually builds up the story. So
nice. So
Very
did you
cool.
play it normal, or did you play it like I suggested?
How'd you suggest?
What, with the lights off?
I may not have seen that.
Yeah, I said lights off, naked on the couch.
Oh, well, the lights were definitely
at midnight.
No, the lights were definitely off. And the kids weren't there because they were at a corn maze, so I was naked, only wearing a cock ring.
Right. And Death Dealer and
hey, Death Dealer, it's great to see you.
She's used to this crap. She lives with him. Come on, she's fine.
Yeah, I'm so used to it at this point. You can't phase me with this. Come on.
All right, so
Death Dealer, please tell me. Come on now. I can't. Am I seriously? I guess I'm not much of a pussy. Am I alone?
No, there is a game. It did keep catching me because it was horrifying. For the life of me, I cannot remember the name of it. And it was an Xbox 360 game that uses the Kinect. And you played a detective searching through an asylum.
I thought it was
That's Outlast. That's
it's not. No, it's not Outlast.
Wait,
it's not
are you
Outlast.
Dark Dreams Don't Die, D4?
I want to say Rise of Nightmares, but I don't think that's it. Dread.
I think it could be.
What game was it?
I thought it was Condemned.
Maybe it was
Condemned. Had a
Condemned.
little bit of Connect.
Is that whatever one it was? You played a detective and you had to sneak your way through an asylum and find clues, and it was extremely anxious because you had to use the Kinect to play, which means any sounds that went around in the house that the Kinect would pick up, it would instantly give away your position. And the graphics were really well, and the creatures were absolutely disgusting and horrifying looking.
Right, it's the one we borrowed from our friend.
No, we have it. No, we still have it. I would like if I had time, I'd go look.
This sounds like Evil Within.
Then you're talking about Evil Within.
I honestly can't remember.
Is it the one where we're limping through at the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah, Evil Within.
Yeah.
Evil Within. Okay.
Evil Within had a little bit of
great game.
Yeah.
I liked it, and I like it. It was just it had me so anxious because the Kinect would pick up everything, and of course at that time I had a toddler running around the house, and of course
so it picks up all the sounds.
We got
Dreadpool's not quiet unless he's sneaking up on you.
Yeah.
So
we got to talk about the infamous game.
No, but nobody wants to hear that story. I'm sure everybody's heard that story, dear. I don't think anyone's as interested.
Everybody's heard it, but I still love it. I still love hearing about it or talking about it. Either one. I think it's funny as fuck.
It's up to you guys.
Well, anyways,
if you want to hear
I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm sure I've heard it.
If it's a good story, I'm up for it.
Okay. So when I was pregnant with our child, we had just moved into our house, and Dreadpool had left for work and left me home alone. And at that point in time, I didn't realize that Dead Island automatically, at that point in time, when you logged on, and if you had internet access, it automatically logged you into open play online. I did not know that. I did not know you had to turn that feature off. So I'm sitting on the couch with my, my big old belly hanging out on the couch, minding my business by myself. And I hear this male voice in my headset or on the TV, as a matter of fact, start telling me, I can see you. I'm right behind you. Wait for me. I know you hear me. Turn around. So I'm like, I start looking around like, okay. Again, I'm home alone, pregnant, hormonal, and I don't scare very easily. But now I've got this person telling me, I can see you. Don't act like you can't see me. The heck? So I take a few steps in the game and keep playing, and he starts yelling at me like, I'm just trying to help you. Just hold still. Just stay right there. And at this point, I'm like, okay, you know what? Nope, we're done. We're out of here, because I didn't know at that time also that the Kinect, you had to turn the video thing on. So I wasn't sure if somebody was watching me or if they were in my house. So I called him up. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Some guys talking to me. I don't feel safe. I'm going over to my friend's house. Call me when you get home. And I actually covered the Kinect.
I don't blame
you. Blanket and ran out.
I come home to see the blanket and everything all over the entertainment center.
I literally got the hell out. I covered it and was like, nope.
And that's how you survived the horror movie. You did the right thing. You didn't stick around or hear the noise and go check it out like a dumbass. You got the fuck out of there.
Yes.
Exactly. And I had that argument because he's the asshole who would go check the fucking noise. And I was telling him, like, every time he goes to do it, I'm like, listen,
I'm
just
the bravest.
So you know.
Well, Dreadpool, you're also the deadest in this fucking show. So.
I usually tell him, like, I'm locking you out just so you know if someone comes after you, I'll just call 911. You're on your own.
It's all you.
All you have to listen. You know the rules, right? Of horror movies. All you have to do is be faster than the next guy. If you can run fast in a dread, you're good to go.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
And double tap. Always double tap. Oh man, I love that. I hadn't heard that story, so I'm glad that you brought that up. But I got excited to your answer because I thought you were going to say the same thing as me. Someone already said in chat. Thank you, Sir X Man. I don't feel like too much of a pussy. It's Outlast. Outlast, I couldn't do it. Outlast, oh my God, it's too much jumpy scares for me. It's intense as hell. Now, I haven't played Outlast since whenever the hell it came out, 2013, 2014. So I could probably do it today. I'm slightly braver. Only slightly. But yeah, that game is Jesus out of me, dude.
Just jump into Outlast 2 or Outlast Trials, whatever it was.
I even tried, I think 2 or maybe it was Trials. I was like, yep, still scary as shit. That was years ago. That was a while ago.
I'll hold your hand and we'll go through it together.
Oh,
I'll be here.
I want a virtual hug. Every time I get scared, I want a donation, actually. Every time I get scared, I want a donation.
So much money.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, that Outlast was the one for me.
Nice.
Oh, damn that game. Yeah.
All right. So no. That's my answer. No games from doing it. Sorry, Roger, I love you, buddy. But
it's fine.
But yeah,
it's fine.
No.
I guess only one of us will tell the truth today.
No. Now, I will say that the first time I played the original Resident Evil, first time through ever, and those dogs jumped through the glass, that scared the shit out of me.
That was
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But
that's when I knew I loved Resident Evil. I was like, holy shit.
But I kept playing because I wanted more.
We would literally invite friends over just
for that
to play
scene.
That part.
Yes.
It's iconic, dude.
Yes, it is. Truly. Now I'm gonna flip the switch here just for a second, because I mean, obviously, there's movies, there's TV shows, there's so much we could talk about. We got about 30 minutes left to and I don't want to get too far down a rabbit hole and not be able to get back out. But I do want to say that there's so many great genres of horror. I mean, there's the classic horror movie. There is the classic movie that's horror. There is there's horror comedy. There's slasher movies. There is exactly. There's so many great ones. And growing up through the years, I'm an old guy, and I love some of these. Everything from Evil Dead to Night of the Comet to the original Frankenstein.
Oh
you know,
wow, I
all-
haven't
you
heard Night
know.
of the Comet in ages.
Me
It's a
either.
good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't?
Only true horror aficionados know Night of the Comet.
All right. Well, here you go. Here's one of my favorite scenes from Night of the Comet.
That's an old
Just for
school
you
one right
guys.
there.
I'm sorry, miss. I can't have you holding one of my people hostage.
It's like a high school film.
I'm
Why does
sorry,
he look
miss.
like Eminem?
Miss, you're not getting the point.
Here it
I
is.
can't have you holding one of my people hostage. You're crazy! I'm not crazy. I just don't give a fuck.
I love that line.
Perfect.
Exactly. All right, one more little cheesy little.
I
cheesy
love
little
that.
bit.
That's
Oh, good
amazing.
call out from Doom Reaper. Ever watch Screamers? That's a good one,
Yeah.
dude. Nice
Oh,
call
yeah.
out from Doom Reaper.
Yeah, let's see. I got one more to throw
That's
at
a
you.
great movie.
Just to throw on. Let's see. It presents, share file, and of course, one of my favorites. And of course, this is actually my ringtone to this day, right now. So, just telling you.
Janet! Janet! Look! Janet! What the Scott? Janet!
Brad.
Janet! Janet!
I love it.
In case you don't
Seriously,
know,
a
this is
ringtone?
the
That's so,
Kentucky Horror Picture Show.
that's so annoying.
Have you ever been to one
yes.
of the shadow what do they call it? Shadow performances of that where the movie's playing in the background and they have
Shadow plays?
actors
Yes.
act it out. Oh, I love
haven't seen
that.
that.
I
That's
love that.
cool.
It's so,
Yep.
Oh,
They do
you
it
have
once a year
you have
here in Evansville.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll have
Chud.
they do it in every
Damn.
state and every city. You'll have
Yep.
to find a place because it is so much fun. You can buy like a little bag and it has like
Yeah.
different things that
All the
you'll
props.
that you get to like throw out at different scenes. And then if you're what they call
Bring
a
a loaf of
virgin,
bread.
it's your first time coming.
Yeah. Yep.
You get to go up
Giggity.
on stage and it's your choice, but they'll tell you can strip down to your skivvies to enjoy some fun. Although you can decline.
Yeah.
So
And I tell you, Tim Curry, his performance in that was absolutely amazing. He's so awesome. And in a
Yeah.
very underrated film of his, which is not technically a horror movie, it's more fantasy. But the work that he did with was it Legends with
No,
Tom
Legend.
Cruise, but where he plays the devil,
The devil.
in that.
Oh,
You can't even
yes,
recognize
dude.
it's him, but his performance
Ah.
is so effing good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just I can't recommend it enough. People are like, it's a Tom Cruise movie. Tim
Dude,
Curry's
Legend
performance
is-
alone
yeah.
is worth watching.
Legend is great.
I agree. I
I-
love all these old school. Look at some of we definitely got some old school mother effers
yeah.
in here. Look at this. Mr. Jordan say calling out Chud, dude. Chud, Demon Night. Demon Night was a good one. I saw that in the theater.
Oh yeah.
Fright Night, good call. The Monster Club, not scary, but still a very fun movie.
Awesome.
Werewolf in
The
Werewolf in
Exorcist, great
London.
movie.
Yeah, Silver Bullet, one of the best werewolf movies ever, still to this day. Phantasm. That's a
Phantasm.
Phantasm
American
scary,
Werewolf
dude.
in London. Hello, that's the best.
Exactly.
movie.
It wasn't
Yeah,
super scary, but April Fool's Day was
Yeah.
always a fun one
April
too.
Fool's Day.
That
That's a
was
good
cool.
one. Got Critters out here. I watched all the Critters, even if they're terrible. Evil
about-
Dead, of course, and Exorcist, dude.
What about Bad Milo?
Batman,
that's good.
I liked that movie. I thought it was pretty.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Nothing,
not
nothing
seeing?
like a movie about an ass goblin.
You know,
Right.
I'm not seeing a lot of the old black and whites. You know, one of my actual
Like the
favorites.
original
I love
Night of the Living
Vincent
Dead?
Price. Well, yeah,
Yep.
well, that's actually in color too, though. So I don't necessarily
Well,
count that
okay.
one per se. They
But it
shot it in
started
black and white for money. Well, they did it because he didn't have money. That's
'Cause-
why.
All right, which Vincent Price?
Just like
movie?
yeah, just like they didn't have a copyright on it. That's why all the you can use it for whatever because there's no rights on it. It's
Right.
the copyright ran out on it. But
Mhm.
anyway, no, I'm a huge Vincent Price fan, and I love most of his movies. Last Man on Earth is a fantastic movie, and it's much better than I Am Legend, in my opinion, because they
Amen.
actually step closer to what the actual book
The
was.
book is fucking
Absolutely
amazingly good.
amazing.
That's one of my favorite books of all time, and I don't know exactly what year it was written in. I was like, how is this? I think it was like 40s or 50s. I can't remember, but I was like, holy shit, this book is good.
I tell you,
yeah,
an old movie that I love. It's an old black and white movie, and some people they're like, it takes place in Halloween. It is a horror / comedy of the day, but it starred one of the biggest stars at the time, Cary Grant. And it's Arsenic and Old Lace, based off the screen, the play that actually, and this movie had Peter Lorre in it, and it was absolutely, it is so pricelessly well done. It is so well written, and it's funny. Even to this day, I still watch it every year. Arsenic and Old Lace, got it on DVD. Even I think I just purchased it as well.
Check that one out.
But it's old black and white, so it's back in the day.
Whatever.
I'm
good with
everything.
everything.
You mean back in the day before they had real color?
If you're trying to get someone interested in horror movies in general, I always recommend showing them the older black and white ones because it's a nice way to ease them into it. Like Vincent Price's House on Haunted Hill. It's well done.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's not too terrifying, but it does have that.
It's good intro though.
Factor, yeah. And then The Mask of Red Death. That's another one that he did, and that's based off of I think it's a Shakespeare. I mean, I
think you're right on that one. That sounds right.
Yeah.
I love Big Mad Mo bringing out Puppet Master, the Puppet Master series. I used to love those, dude.
They're selling the Puppet Master, one of the Puppet Master masks now at Spirit Halloween. I saw.
Is it the white one? Is it like
the white one?
Oh,
yeah,
dude, that dude's so creepy.
Puppet. I was so excited because I'm like, oh, so that means they're gonna be selling more of them. He was the only one they had.
He's the only. Really? Yeah, it's the most popular. I kind of get it. It's the most popular one.
It'll start off though, because like Spirit started off with all like pretty generic stuff, and they've started picking up like Trick or Treat Studios. They've started bringing in some NECA. Like there's been some higher quality stuff that started hitting those stores.
They even released this year. I noticed they had 4 different masks that were based on the 80s Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Like you remember, like, because I think we're all old enough to remember the plastic costumes our parents would make us wear with those disgusting, heavy, unbreathable masks. They brought the masks back, but you can breathe through those ones, and you don't have to wear the plastic outfit. So, hey,
there's so many great movies. Did anybody ever see
Leprechaun?
The movie. It's called The Haunting. The original movie, not the remake with Liam Neeson, but the original, and it had it was like, it didn't have any like, it was just so suspenseful in the way they shot it. They only had one real special effects, where there was a scene that they showed a door, and the door like would breathe in and out, and it was it was absolutely terrifying when I was younger.
Yeah,
holy crap, dude, such a great movie.
I watched that one just because like they did the remake or whatever, and I remember seeing the breathing door, and I'm like, I gotta see this. That's a good call out, Dave. The Haunting, definitely the old school one. Good movie. Remake, not so great.
Yeah. I think I've seen it. I just can't think of which one it is. This is not helping.
The door scene super. Like if you just look up The Haunting, like the door scene, it'll pop up instantly on YouTube. Like it's super famous because it was like a big deal for the effects that they were doing for the door because it looked really good, like for that time period. But go ahead, Silent.
So you bring up the black and white horror movies and like the old classics and stuff. We had, it's a quick story, but like we had an instance, I think it was back 2013, 2014. So my daughter was only 4 or 5 years old. Initially when she saw these, and I think it was a couple of years later where it finally came to play. But one day we were talking and she brought up, she's like, oh, so was that back when everything was in black and white? And I was like, oh yeah, that's when they made the movies and that. And she was like, no, but life was in black and white. And I was like, what do you mean? And she literally she didn't realize that it was literally just it was.
And that's,
so she thought She thought at one point in time everything was black and white, and we had just adapted.
Like that movie. What was that movie where everyone was in black and white? And
Pleasantville.
Yeah. Great movie.
So
great
she
movie.
she was living life thinking that it was like Pleasantville. It was,
and that was the joke I brought up earlier. That a lot of kids or adults now actually thought that the world was in black and white.
Yeah,
that's why I said that earlier. That like
so
we're talking about people in their 20s thinking that 1800s and early 1900s were literally in black and white. The world was, and it's like, are you?
We only invented color recently, so
I blame the parents for that because while I'm not,
can you blame the parent? Like, but as a parent, do you have to explain to your child that the world wasn't fucking black and white?
No, but as a parent, you're supposed to expose your kids to black and white movies. Like, take Tiny Giant for instance. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because she wanted to watch horror movies at a young age. And I was like, well, since we watch them, I can't really tell her no. So we started off with, of course, the kid-friendly ones. And she's like, no, I want to watch an adult scary movie. And I was like, okay, well, then I figured in my mind, I'm like, let's go with black and white because one, there's little to no cursing. There's never a sex scene in those movies because they're older. I mean, they don't even sleep. They aren't even in the same bed in those movies. Hence why Psycho was such a controversial movie when it came out. It's like, let's watch this. So I showed her House on Haunted Hill, the black and white version. Yep. And then she loved that movie. She still loves that movie. And then I was like, oh, hey, check it out, honey. They have it in color too. Let's watch it. So I showed it to her in color. Do you know that child actually told me, she looked me in her face and she goes, I prefer the black and white version.
Amen. All right. A girl culture. I love it. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I kind of blame the parents because if you're not showing your kids black and white movies and then kind of showing them that, hey, this same movie is in color as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole rotary phone. Yeah, it's kind of like the whole rotary phone thing.
I was just
like,
going to bring that up.
Knows what a rotary phone is. And our daughter's 10 and she knows what a rotary phone is because
she's
Mom
seen
and
those.
Dad have been like, hey,
she's been exposed.
This. I don't want someone making a video in a few years of going here.
TikTok.
What do you do with this?
Right.
I feel like
just gonna say that
making fun of their kids, like you're laughing at your kid for not knowing what it is, but it's your fault that your kid doesn't know what it is when you never exposed it or had these conversations.
Yeah,
like
I don't
Shout
think
out to Sir X-Man for bringing that up, the rotary phone thing. We've seen those TikTok videos where like, here you go, figure out this, or with the cassette player, or like, how to open up like an old school CD, and it's like
I love the one where you hand a Game Boy over to the kids and the kids are like, it's broken because they're touching the screen and the screen's not working.
Right, yeah exactly.
Meanwhile, she's played on a 40-year-old Game Boy and she's like, what do you mean some of them are touched? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out. Hold on. Shout out to Mr. Joanna Dark. I can't forget about this movie, The Lost Boys. Oh yes, dude. Yes.
I'm seeing so many great movies. I'm seeing a ton. Sleepaway Camp was amazing.
Sleepaway Camp.
Eyes. Dead Alive. That's a funny movie.
There's so many. Yeah, so many. You guys definitely know your stuff. Nightmare on Elm Street, of course. We can't forget about that. Go ahead, Dave.
But just the the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because this has to do with RHETRI's theme, which is what he likes to cover, and I know he knows what I'm talking about, which is in Game Pass, available now and still available if you haven't redeemed.
Great game too.
If you have in Game Pass, not only is the game there available in Game Pass, but
the movie's there.
The movie is there, exactly. You can redeem the movie, watch it on your Xbox. It's not the original, but it's a really good one of the really good remakes that's on there. So it's the original with Toby Hooper was absolutely phenomenal. And there's so many great stuff coming up. Creep Show. I mean, just all these amazing movie and some movies that are like, to me, like a classic horror movie is like the original Alien was a horror movie.
Yeah.
Aliens is an action adventure movie.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with that sentiment. Yeah. But we can't forget.
Go ahead. So I was going to say the original, The Terminator. That's a horror movie, dude.
Yes, it is.
You think? Yeah,
and then number 2 is action.
I kind of like that you. I kind of like that you mentioned the Terminator. That's a good one. I was gonna say John Carpenter's The Thing. The Thing is I love that damn movie. It's so good.
Amazing. That is one of the best remakes ever.
It's yeah. I love The Thing so
much. He did such a good job with that remake. Most people don't realize that it's a remake.
Yeah, right. Because people are thinking you're thinking of the last one. No, that's actually the third one, guys. Not the Carpenter's is the remake, which is
another scary movie that could be real life. Cable Guy.
Cable Guy. Oh man,
that best friend you can't get rid of.
Dude, that movie was so creepy.
I feel like that Silent Cypher would actually be the Cable Guy in that in real life.
Cable Gula. Yeah. No.
Funny story about Alien. Alien was the first adult horror movie I was actually allowed to watch. I was 5 years old. And my mom's reason, when I asked her years later why she allowed me to watch Alien as my first horror movie, her response was, well, honey, it's so far-fetched. We're not traveling around on ships, so I don't think we're going to be running into aliens. So I figured it would be the easiest way for you to kind of process what was going on. And for the longest time, horror movies never affected me, believe it or not. Creepshow 2. The lake story when they go swimming in the lake.
Yeah, the blob thing. Was it the black thing? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I love that one.
That actually I love that one. Made a lasting impression on me because we lived around lakes and swam at lakes every summer. And after that, I was like, I'm not really sure I'm a fan of this anymore. Jaws didn't faze me for nothing. I was like, sharks, who cares?
Jaws definitely fazed me. Someone brought that up in the chat too. Someone said Jaws. I was like, I know people to this day that do not swim in the ocean because of Jaws. They just won't do it. Yeah. Like it affected you that badly in the late 70s, early 80s.
Sounds like you had a kinder introduction to horror movies because my brother tied me down to a chair and made me watch Chucky, Halloween, Friday the 13th, all those when I was 5 or 6.
Nice.
My first one, Nightmare on Elm
Street.
That
was Covert Reaper, by the way.
Well, that's not surprising. Covert would do that too.
I still remember my mom way back when she'd tell us to go to our room, and it was close to bedtime and stuff like that. My brother and I would still sneak out and look and see what's over the on TV and stuff. And she's sitting there ironing, watching some sort of alien thing. And whatever this alien movie was, they had like these aliens popping out of the keyboards and circuitry and the machines and stuff and popping out of the ceiling and stuff. And the aliens were basically fetuses. And I had no idea what that movie was. And I know that thing messed me up for about a good week because I couldn't get that visual of the glass and the dials, and all of a sudden this freaking fetus popping through the glass and just hanging there as an alien or whatever it was. And I guess again, I am no longer like scared of stuff because of stuff like that. I was exposed so young that stuff like that doesn't bother me anymore. Gruesome, gory. My mom used to watch the operations where they they do open operations on TV they open up your knee and remove the kneecap and stuff like seeing stuff like that.
You're numb is what you're telling us, Dread.
Yeah.
See, I don't though. I've been watching this since I was like 5 years old. I've been into horror, and it still gets me, dude. I don't know. I guess we went on a different path there. Dread's like he's
I tell you,
desensitized. I'm not.
It makes me think of a couple of horror movies quote unquote horror / horrific movie. One that when I managed a video store, I was like, oh, what's this? And I took it home and watched it, and I was like, what the frick did I see?
What did I just watch?
Okay, so
was that the one-eyed monster?
No, it was called Blood Sucking Freaks.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, but
why
it's
do I
like,
know that one?
You know, one of the lines from the movie is like, "Oh, her mouth will make a lovely urinal." What? You know, and like it was
Yeah,
just
that sounds familiar.
weird, freaking creepy movie. You know?
I've actually seen that.
Humanoids
That
from the
sounds
Deep.
super familiar.
That's a good one.
Basket Case, that's a good one from Doom Reaper. Yeah, he's definitely old school. You could that's 80s written all over it. Basket Case. I remember that one as well.
Here we go. A nice, nice little palate cleanser. Here we go.
Good, good one too. If you like zombie movies, Train to Busan. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, that
great movie.
brain that you gave me.
Here we go.
Was it Hans
Young Frankenstein.
Delbrooks? No. Good. Would you mind telling me whose brain I did put in? And you won't be angry? I will not be angry.
Love it.
Abby someone. Abby someone. Abby who? Abby Normal. Abby Normal. I'm almost sure that was the name. Are you saying that I put an abnormal brain into a 7.5-foot long, 54-inch wide gorilla? Is that what you're telling me? Wait, get him up.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Another classic line for that movie. Ooh, what big knockers. Ooh, thank you, doctor. Anyway.
I love it. Oh, that's I forgot Poltergeist, of course, as well. That's a good one.
Yeah, the original Poltergeist.
Yeah, the original.
Remake,
Sorry, I always mean the original.
The sequels are okay.
Yeah.
And that was a creepy thing, like the girl from the original movie, the sister. You know, she was murdered before the movie came out.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
and then like in the second movie, the grandma and somebody else in that movie, they also died when the movie came out. And of course, the third movie, the actress that played the little girl, she died before it finished.
Yeah,
very creepy.
How about this? How about this one here? Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis.
Yes.
The Fly.
Yeah.
The Fly. Is
What about?
No.
Wait, what?
Wait,
the other one.
What are you talking about?
Transylvania 65000.
All right.
Oh, I was just gonna say that Transylvania 5-6000. No one's mentioned that one yet.
Let's take him off the show.
See that one.
Kick him out. I'm just kidding.
We're all like, The Fly. He's like, no, the other one. We're like, what the?
You love how I set you up like that, right?
You
did. Yeah.
How about?
I was just gonna mention Transylvania 5-6000.
Oh, that's a good one. Cypher, High Tension. I don't think a lot of people have seen High Tension.
Oh,
that's
that is
that's a French one, right? That's a French horror movie.
Yeah,
that's a
High
great
Tension
movie.
is fucked up.
You know what another good one is Shrooms. I haven't seen anyone mention that.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Shrooms yet.
I like Shrooms.
I do remember it.
Oh, the movie.
It's a good movie. It's a mind trip. It is definitely a mind trip. That one
definitely
and
a mind trip.
Catacombs. Catacombs is another good one. I thought
Catacombs was really good. I don't think that one gets enough love. Shout out to Doom Reaper. I know people have been mentioning this one too. The Shining and the sequel. Dr. Sleep is really good.
Really good.
Dr. Sleep is surprisingly good. Shut up, Silent. Listen, it's from the same guy who made all the horror series on Netflix. Mike Flanagan is in my opinion, the new master of horror. Fucking watch this guy. He's not going anywhere. He has made so much good stuff. It's not even funny. This is the guy who did Gerald's Game, the guy who did The Haunting on House Hill, The Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, Midnight Club, the Fall of the House of Usher. Look, I want to hear no slander about anything that Mike Flanagan did. This guy is amazingly good.
Bars off.
I'm not disagreeing that the story and everything was good. However, the casting of having, I forget the girl's name, the main one that's like the vampire or whatever.
The little girl. Oh, okay.
No.
What? You didn't like
Rose,
her?
the hat.
No. Yeah, I couldn't
Dude.
stand that stupid bullshit. Like it
Wow.
seemed like she had just come off of the scene of like Luck of the Irish from Disney Channel. She's like, she was 2 seconds away
liked
from
her,
like,
man.
oh, I'm going to find me Lucky Charms and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you and your stupid top hat need to go away like that. I enjoyed everything else. She just, every time she showed up on the screen, I was like, why do we got to deal with this girl again?
That's fine. I had the exact opposite reaction to her. I really liked her in that movie, to be honest with you.
I like her in other movies.
Go ahead, Dad.
See, I like The Shining. It is a good movie. It is a classic. But The Shining kind of goes into that category for me of once you watch it, you never have to watch it again, really. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I do actually enjoy reading his books. I used to read them even at a very young age. And I do genuinely like most of the movies based on his books, even though they don't always go in line. But The Shining was just one of those ones that was like, this is a really long, drawn out thing. It is. Don't get me wrong. It does have that, it builds suspense and all that. And Kubrick did an amazing job, in my opinion, with, you know, the setting and in the characters and all that. It's just, again, once you've seen it, you kind of, you don't really need to see it again. I mean, and as someone who does haunted houses,
like that.
I disagree.
As someone who has done haunted houses, it's one of those things where I see people try and use that movie as a theme for their house.
And
I'm
a
like,
tough one to do for a theme.
Well, yeah, that's my thing.
Because what are you going to do for your settings besides like an axe and maybe like blood coming out of elevators?
Well, see, that's the thing.
The twin girls.
The most horrifying parts of the movies, you can't really do out on a trail very easily. You know what I mean? Like to me, the elevator doors with the blood, that was one of the more terrifying parts. The little girls being okay one second and then butchered the next.
Come play with us, Danny.
In today's society, I really don't know how appropriate it would be to have two, you know, butchered looking little girls laying on the side. So, and then the old lady in the tub. The more terrifying parts aren't doable in trails for me, so I just don't see the appeal.
The furry giving fellatio to the guy in the
all right then. And on that note, okay, so we need to start wrapping things up because you guys have things you got to get to today, and we greatly appreciate your time. And thank you everybody for here in the chat. Thank you everybody that was here. We're gonna go around the horn one more time, and we're just gonna get not a big descriptor. We're gonna get a what is, and I'm going to start with Death Deal. The movie that you've seen in your life that truly scared you the most, and it can be just like the first time you saw it and it scared you, and then you're fine with it from then on. But like, and it's the one, and we're going to go to her first, then we're going to go to Silent, Dreadpool, RHETRI, myself, and then we're going to get our outros.
Actually, I don't really have a movie that's scared me that I couldn't stand it and then enjoy it. I have, however, had a movie that absolutely disgusted me.
That works.
That would be Cabin Fever. The original Cabin Fever. The remake was absolute. I don't understand why they did the remake. But in particular, the leg shaving scene. As a woman, I'm not even gonna lie, that is the only movie that made me physically get up out of the theater and run to the bathroom to get sick, because as soon as she started doing that, all I could think about is, oh my god, I've done that, but not that bad. And it was not that movie. To this day, that particular scene still, it makes me cringe. I can't.
Good call.
I can't watch it.
Everything
else was great of that movie, but that scene just does something to me.
For the guys, just imagine doing that to your scalp.
Yeah. All right. So, Cypher, what is your movie that scared you the most in your life? And it could be a little kid, adult, whatever.
Man, it's hard to think of something that's like really stuck with me like that. Like I had, you know, obviously growing up around my brother, he would dress up and stuff after he showed me the horror movies. So like I'd be going down the stairs and he'd suddenly like turn the corner in Jason costume and like scare the shit out of me. But I think, God, I don't know, something like The Strangers, I think, is something that creeps me the hell out because like
it
really
feels real.
Yeah, and like the idea of like we literally just went out to a cabin out in the middle of nowhere with like no reception just like a month ago. And it's one of those things where like to see something like that, to see that type of thing happen to someone, like that's got more of that like just that real looming like just gross feeling when you go out somewhere like that, because you're just afraid you're going to find some awful like hillbilly or just someone who's like on a bender trying to kill everyone in sight.
There you go. Good call. That's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that one.
What about you?
I'm gonna say that same movie that I just spoke of earlier, the one with all the fetuses and stuff. And it's probably going to be because I was a kid. It was like I didn't know what a fetus was at that time. You know what I mean? And you would these things with umbilical cords, and I didn't know they were umbilical. You know, it's just whatever that movie was. And I'm sure if we figure it out and I watch it now,
you can put it in the chat.
Like, really?
Right?
Really? This is what I was scared of.
That's funny.
But again, as a kid, it was what 6, 7 years old. You know, sneaking over the couch to watch whatever my parents were watching. Yeah. That would be the one.
Okay.
But hopefully, maybe somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about.
And like I said,
find out what this movie is.
We'll throw it in. We'll throw it in the chat if somebody figures it out. So, all right, RHETRI, what was yours?
Probably for me was probably The Exorcist. It's the lack of control, like being possessed, like that scared the absolute shit out of me. And I remember again, I don't know if it was it was probably DVD. I remember there was a scene cut out of the movie that was too scary, they thought, for theaters. And it was when she is upside down like a spider going down the stairs and then just like pukes out her mouth. I'm just like, holy shit. Yeah, Exorcist for me, definitely.
Very, very good call. And mine probably might, I don't even think I think it's already PG-13. But, and it's still, it jump scares me to this day. And I guess it's just the way it was shot. And not even the actor that's in it. I love the actor that's in it. But it was The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay.
That movie.
All right, I saw that one.
Good.
Is so well done, shot,
a lot of jump scares in that one.
Yes, exactly. Jump scares. The bird. I know it's coming, and the damn bird's flying out of the. Yeah, and I'm still like, oh,
yeah,
yeah. And my wife won't walk it because we've talked about it. I said, no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. She goes, "Is this scare you?" Yes. Then I'm not watching it. Damn it.
Yeah.
So yeah, stuck that way.
Before I read that super chat, I just want to say as an indie horror thing, I would be remiss if I didn't say this one. It Follows. It's an indie.
Oh yes.
That
was a good
watch it. It's like the premise of like, you ever hear that thing online? If would you get $1 million if a snail was coming at you 24/7 and the snail never stopped? That's kind of like the premise of It Follows. It's a entity that never stops. It doesn't run, but it just continuously moves. So while you're sleeping, it just never stops. And if it gets you, you're effed. Watch It Follows. Very, very good. Kind of like a retro 80s feeling type of movie too. Made not too long ago, but it's got that old school feeling. King Webb with the $5 super chat says, salute Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney Sr. and Junior Bela Lugosi, Peter Cushing, Claude Rain, and Vincent Price, the horror masters of black and white movies. Absolutely. Amen. King Webb is definitely an old school guy. Let's go.
They absolutely made horror makeup and effects what they are able to do today. If it hadn't have been, especially for Boris Karloff in particular, makeup would not have come as. And what's impressive is most people don't actually know this. The makeup that Bela Lugosi did in all of his movies, he did himself. He never allowed a makeup artist to do it, and he never taught anyone his tricks. Including his own son, which he's actually gone on record and stated like he wishes his father would have at least told him, but it was his guarantee that he would always have a spot. And as an artist myself, I can understand. However, it is a shame that he took those to the grave with him. But
yeah, I tell you, another great makeup
Without
artist is Dick Smith. His work is, I mean, he's won Academy Awards for it, and everything from Planet of the Apes to just absolutely amazing. And of course, he inspired some other great legends in the field.
Dude, someone just dropped a great movie, Bone Tomahawk. Go watch it. Mess you up a little bit.
I'm seeing so many good ones. I'm just
coming out with some great.
I have seen a few anthologies. So if you guys do like anthologies, I recommend there's a movie called Scare Package, and there's Scare Package 2 as well. They're both great. The people that made them, I was blessed enough to interview one of the producers and directors of it.
Nice.
And they absolutely love horror. They are all for it. And you can tell they love what they do in the movies. The movies are fantastic.
Awesome.
I recommend watching them for sure.
Awesome. And appreciate the insight from all of you today. And in the chat has absolutely been amazing. We love it. So if you watch us on the replay, I have it set up to where the chat replays with us as we go. So you'll be able to follow along and see some of these amazing comments as well. And when you watch the replay, so don't fret on that. And gosh, we could literally talk for the next couple of hours, but I know we can't.
Easily.
We can literally keep
I
going.
wish I could, because I've got so many things.
I know.
Yeah.
And but seriously, it's been such an honor to have all three of you here, and me and RHETRI are both. We feel very blessed. Nice bonus show, and for us, the membership bonus, we changed it. It is now. It's because we do have members that we're able to do bonus shows instead of being locked out to everybody. The bonus shows are for everybody to see, and we'll do them on Saturdays. But it's because of people that do even just $1. They'll get you the cool emojis and stuff too. That helps us a lot. And please, if you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe button. The like button is definitely the simplest thing, but it really means a lot. It really helps us out. We had at one time we had up to 80 people in the chat today, which is great. Thank you so much. I know a lot of people are going to watch this on replay and going to absolutely enjoy it. But as we do the outros, because I know they got to go soon, we're going to go with we'll go to Dreadpool first, and tell everybody where they can find you, buddy.
Yes, most importantly, thank you to everybody in chat right now participating with us. Thank you to both WebDave and RHETRI for having all three of us on. It's been a pleasure. And everybody in the future that are watching this on replay, thank you for coming out, checking out everything we've discussed and done and interacted with these guys. These guys have developed a great show and a great podcast. And amongst the community, there's many more that I got to give thanks to that I can't. It's just running out of time, right? So again, you can find me on Twitter or X, whatever, as Dreadpool. The O's are actually zeros. And check out my YouTube channel, which is right there on screen for those that are watching live or watching the video portion. It's Dreadpool. The O's are actually letters. So everything's all letters on that one. And Death Dealer is also joining me with a lot of the reviews that we do, some unboxings. We've been doing haunted houses. And I've been doing one-offs with different things, with different shows. So check out those shorts. I've got some other videos for media that I'm waiting on being able to publish. So there's a lot of content coming out on the channel. So really appreciate you guys' support. And again, have a good time with everything we do. Just enjoy life, and if ever, just as a heads up, my DMs are open. If anybody ever needs to vent, I'm not a professional, but at least it'll be a stranger's ear that you can speak to.
There you go. And we do appreciate
my
that.
Therapist all the time, and he's very good at it.
There you go. Well, Silent Cypher, tell everybody where they can find you and where they can reach out to you if they want to communicate with you, sir.
Right. Well, RHETRI, WebDave, thank you guys so much for having me. Death Dealer and Dread, of course, great to hang out with you guys. I think this is the first time, Death Dealer, that you and I have actually been on a show. So great to meet you. Hopefully I didn't scare you away with some of the nonsense that I was throwing out there. But yeah, it's been a blast. I'm glad it worked out that we could get the schedule going and we could all get together and talk about horror. It's definitely, it's one of my favorite things. I wish all my family was on the same boat, but this is my outlet. This allows me to talk about the stuff that they don't really care about so much. So it's nice to get together with you guys and chop it up about some horror. But as far as where you can find me on Wednesdays at Xbox International Podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Crazy Louie, Sour Blow, and occasionally Plume, dependent on if he's moving or teaching a Dominican Republic baseball team.
Nice.
In Canada. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find me there. You can occasionally find me. You'll start seeing me again it'll be every other Friday on Mr. Boomstick's show on Friday mornings, hanging out with Dread, Crispy, some of those guys. So I'll be there again. Fortunately, my work schedule has shifted back to normal, so I can actually get to hang out with everyone again. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
Besides that, obviously social media, TikTok, Twitter, all those things as Silent Cypher. And yeah, thanks again. And chat, you guys were on fire today. I love the movie recommendations and lists that were on there.
Yep, like run the gambit for sure. And also, everything from everybody in the descriptions below. So you could, they're in if you're watching later on YouTube, or if it's in the description, or if you're listening later on some of the audio sites that we are on, then it's definitely in there as well. So please make sure you check out that. And of course, we are very privileged to have today, and we are so glad that you were able to join us. Her first time on the show, and hopefully it will not be her last. And I'm so glad that she was able to be here with her husband, Death Dealer.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to come on, especially since it was one of my favorite subjects. So grateful. And it was great to meet everybody.
You too.
Hopefully I will see all you guys again in the future. On Friday nights, actually starting this Friday again, I will be back on Iconic Video Games at 7 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. See,
Eastern.
yeah, see, it's been a month.
He saved it.
It's been a month. I'm sorry. 8 o'clock Eastern time, and then on Sundays, I have my own podcast, which is Majestic Mayhem on 4GQ TV. We are at 9 o'clock Eastern time on Sundays, and I recommend following me on Twitter because you never know where I'm going to end up. It's always, and of course I show it on Dreadpool's channel quite often. So
yep, and that's awesome. Again, thank you so much for being here, all three of you. We really appreciate it. RHETRI, tell everybody where they can find you and what you got going on.
You put it in the chat. You can find me. You guys know Game Pass Daily on YouTube. I'm a Game Pass shill, but I'm also a huge horror fan. And honestly, like we got. I'm so glad at the panel we got today for the special show. I know, like, we normally have like almost like 200 people watching live, but that's okay. This is a special show. It was, brought up at the last type of minute thing. But I love Halloween. It's my probably my favorite holiday of the year. So having like Dreadpool, Silent, and Death Dealer here, people who like clearly love this holiday as much as I do, and of course WebDave, me and WebDave get along so well because we love our horror. So thank you guys for coming out. Like such great information, such good picks that you guys did for the games and for the movies, TV shows, and all that jazz. And the chat, oh my God, chat, you guys definitely are knowledgeable. And I can tell you're knowledgeable because I'm doing this. I'm like, yes, I had to keep shouting out some of the good recommendations that you guys gave. So thanks for coming out on this special episode of the Gamers Council, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All righty. Thanks everybody for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. We do have a show tomorrow night, our regular show. And Richard, who's our guest tomorrow night? We have two.
Oh, Jesus, Dave. I don't remember. Who was it? We have Forte and K Mega. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. So, and that's going to be a very good show. We have a lot to talk about. A lot of things have happened, and seems like the Xbox does have the momentum. We'll talk all about that. Oh,
we sure do.
We will. Yes, we will. Thank you for everybody for joining us here at Gamers Council.
Most people are so ungrateful.
to be alive. But not you. Not anymore. Game over.